Howdy, everyone. This, I imagine, is a topic that is going to get an extreme amount of coverage in the next day, week, however long. Let's talk about statistics, the most absolutely fun topic for any gotcha game. In the last P5X developer livestream that, as of recording, just happened a few hours ago, they unveiled that the 110 banner is going to get buffed from its CN Asian server equivalent. It's now twice as likely to yield a 5-star. And people have spent a lot of time, myself included, now thinking about which one of these is statistically better. And the answer is a little complicated. According to people who are much smarter than I am and who have ran this through Python scripts, I've seen a few people do it on this point on Reddit and so on and so forth. The scripts themselves aren't important. What matters is the common conclusion they all come to is the fact that the 50-50 banner is only very minutely better statistically. We're talking on the low end 0.145055% better. On the high end 0.269633% better than the 110 banner. For those who can't count, this is effectively one extra pull every 4 to 8 banners. One single pull, I want to say, not a multi, one single pull. Meaning effectively, there is barely any difference between the 50-50 and 110, according to raw fucking statistics. However, this isn't taking into account outliers for people who might be more lucky, people who might be less lucky. So I want to take us through a little thought experiment here. Let's say you are John Average. John Average always has perfectly normal luck, no variance whatsoever. John Average wins exactly 50% of his 50-50s. Not taking the earlies into account, John Average would get the featured 5-star on 50-50 banner, one every 120 pulls. John Average will statistically not hit an early on this first banner. The chance to get an early is 0.8%. But by the time that you have hit 80 draws, that's not enough to have hit the 0.8%. You would need to hit 125 pulls. And then I believe, please fact check me on this, because I'm not sure. I don't know the fucking source code of the game. I believe from then on it goes to 0.4% for the second 80 banner, which would take 250 pulls to get an early. So for the first 50-50, John Average will hit an early every other banner. And for the second 50-50, John Average would hit an early every 4 banners. If we say you have perfect luck, you are going to get an early every 125 pulls and 250 pulls respectively. That means that John Average will hit a 5-star every 100 pulls on the dot. If John Average pulls on 110, he'll get the first 2 5-stars at 110. And the third 5-star, he would get early. Thanks to his perfectly average luck, he will always hit the 0.4% chance every 250 pulls, meaning his average will be 83.33 repeating for each 5-star. This isn't taking into account the variables of luck and RNG. That's what the Python scripts fucking statistics are about. I'm not about that. I'm talking purely John Average with luck included. It's going to alter your experience. You're either going to get more lucky than John Average or less lucky than John Average. For John Average, the 110 banner is objectively better, according to my math, which could be wrong. But if I am right, John Average is better pulling on the 110 banner every single time. It's always going to be better. Your mileage may vary. However, is saving the possibly less than 1 pull per banner worth having to risk losing the 50-50, going to hard pity twice. Statistically, this won't happen to you every time, but theoretically it could. Is the peace of mind and consistency of the 110 banner not worth it? You don't have to be John Average, but you could be. If you are John Average, the 110 is statistically better. Even if overall it would be statistically better for most people to pull on 50-50. You might not be most people. You might be John Average. You might have horrendous luck and go to hard pity every single time. You might lose every single 50-50. The 110 banner offers a level of consistency and peace of mind that the 50-50 simply cannot. And now with the statistics being so unbelievably close between the two, I'd have a hard time justifying pulling on 50-50 ever again. But that's just my perspective and my opinion on the matter. I would love to hear people's opinions or corrections to the math in the comments. Not to like fucking, could you like and comment on this video? No, I just genuinely want to see more discussion about this in the community, because I think it is very interesting how similar it's going to be now. But ultimately, do whatever you have fun with. I know a lot of streamers have fun doing the 50-50s. It makes for better content. I personally am going for a very specific build, the Howler meta. I know exactly who I want, what awarenesses I want, what weapons I want, so on and so forth. And to do that, I can get it 100% of the time as long as I just pull on the 110 banner. Even if I go to hard pity every time and lose the weapon 50-50 every time. For me, the 110 banner is better. For you, it might not be. But I just want you to consider your options. Is statistically one pull every 4 banners better to you than the peace of mind of knowing that you're going to get your characters every single time at 110? That's your homework.